God wills it! Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. Guys, we're in the finals of Week 2 of this expanded Divisions GAC. We're in 3v3, and so far I've been doing well. I'm 5-0. Like I said, I'm in the finals, and this is my best chance to maybe make top 10 on this account, because frankly, once we start getting all the people who are just kind of cheesing their way through life, through GAC, once they start joining this division, it's going to get harder. Plus, even the people who aren't cheesing it, the people who are legitimately just, playing well, whatever, like, they're going to be a lot tougher to beat too, just because of weight of numbers, right? So, right now, there's like 1,650 people in our division, and a lot of them are knocking each other out because of chromium, and all the undefeated people are taking each other out. It's exciting. It's good for me, at least. So we're gonna keep working on that. This match, though, this is the finals, and there's some pretty interesting stuff to be found here. I can't wait to show you. So let's actually just get into the fighting, shall we? Alright, so, whoa, wait a minute. Let's rewind a little. Okay. Alright, so, my defenses, I'll show you my full defenses when we get there, but once again, I went pretty hard on defense. I keep 3 Galactic Legends a lot of times in 3v3 just because they're the most flexible, but then I just overload with like A- and B+ teams. I just put all of them like A- and B+, and I do put 1 Galactic Legend down. So this one was just serving to be as bait, basically. I was like, you know what, let's put this up front so that he just wants to use Sith Eternal here. And I don't know if that worked or not, but I just wanted to give him the option, like, hey, use Sith Eternal here, and if you do, then it'll be easy. Life will be easy, and then in the back, hopefully, he won't be able to deal with my Jedi Knight Luke team. So, otherwise, we've got Darth Revan, and we've got that Nute team that always steals banners that kind of saved us last match, and then General Skywalker as well, followed by, on the top, I have, let's see, Kylo, and Hux. So I'm kind of telegraphing that I have Supreme Leader Kylo. I kept him just to kill Darth Revan in case I needed to. I put an Asajj zombie cheese team. That's probably my weakest team on defense, probably by a pretty big margin. Also have that Bosk team and Maul. I need to get Dengar relics or something. Okay, so my opponent's team, his defense was interesting actually. So he put his Count Dooku on defense. That's fine. He also, that's actually not interesting. I'm sorry, I kind of got distracted. He put a Basti team with Jedi Master Luke here, but no Watt. So that team isn't that tough to beat. Actually, probably could beat it without an off-meta team, or without a Galactic Legend. I probably could have beat it with like Darth Revan or something. But also, though, up top you'll see he put another Galactic Legend, and he put his Darth Revan team up top, not on the bottom, and that's a problem for him because now I can kind of just act with impunity. So other teams, he's got Geos, he's got Nute, Crew, all of that stuff. But up top, you see he has this Rey team with it's the same one that we beat last time actually, with the multi-shot approach, the Suicide Rey, all of that stuff, and then Bando, Darth Revan, well modded and all that, General Grievous, and then Jedi Training Rey with the Hero Bros, which I love because it's kind of combining 2 good teams. You can split it up to make 2 better teams, but he does do that. So first off, guys, we're going to go on the bottom zone. We're going to try to take out this Jedi Master Luke with Basti lead. And so all it really takes, I decided to use Watt here. I was pretty sure after scouting him, it was surprising that he put 2 Galactic Legends down against me, but I figured he's not going to risk putting a third down, frankly. I was pretty sure, pretty confident that that was how it was going to be. So we're just going to use Watt here and continue. I wished I had armor. If I had armor, well, I do have armor, but I wish my armor was like fast enough or good enough. I don't know. Armor doesn't quite work in this particular circumstance. Against Rey, yes. Oh, I'm yawning apparently, guys. You'll have that. So, anyways, we're just slowly taking them out. We link the two guys that you can. Wait till your ultimate comes. Pop the ultimate, and I was really hoping that Watt would live. Look at how long he lived. He lived for a while, until Jedi Master Luke got fed up with his crap. Here, I'm kind of projecting, apparently. Yeah, so we even took out Basti here, and then Jedi Master Luke's like, you know what? Here's one for you, and one for you. took out Sith Eternal, who didn't, or he punched Sith Eternal through the air, which didn't matter, but he did punch Watt through the air as well. Have you ever gotten an air punch from Jedi Master Luke? Me either, and I don't care to. It's just a random thing. It's like, why do you have a lightsaber? He's like, so I can ignite it to signify that I've popped my ult. It was just a very strange situation entirely. He's like, you're like, so do you ever hit things with that? He's, and the obvious answer is, no, I just like to punch people with the air. So you'll have that. Anyways, I did manage to get a 52 here. My protection regenerated. That's one nice thing about having Watt in that fight, is that he regenerates the protection before anyone else, before he goes, as opposed to at the end of his turn with the armorer. So, alright, we're using Vader with Thrawn against these Geos, and they are all relicked. There's spy and everything. I decided to go undersize and risk it just a little bit. The idea here being that if we can kill spy right off the bat, that we can, between the two of these guys, I mean, Relic 7, Relic 6, we can tank quite a few hits, and actually Thrawn can generally regenerate a lot. The Geos don't do a lot of damage, except for spy. I mean, in 5v5, sure, there's a ton of them, but in 3v3, as long as you can take out spy, then there's only 3 guys hitting you, and especially the other one's Sunfac. Like, does anyone actually fear anything from Sunfac? The answer is no. I was gonna make some kind of joke about his girlfriend or something, and then I realized I don't know anything about them as a species and girlfriends or whatever. So, anyways, decided to force crush here. We're playing the long game. Thrawn is still fracturing, so what I wanted to do, instead of saber tossing Brood Alpha, like if we saber toss Brood Alpha, then we just win, right? But decided to kill Brute so that it would kind of free up Thrawn there, and in that case, that way Thrawn could take a turn, pass the turn to Vader and heal both of their protections, and then the Brood Alpha could die of sadness. So that was nice. So dying of sadness, of course, means by dying of dots or other things, dying on their own. So took out the Geos with Vader. That was nice. I got the feat for that, actually, which is nice as well. Need to get all the feats. Now, I'm speeding this one up a little bit just because people hitting Nest and Nest just slowly over time, taking them out, is fun. It's fun to experience. Maybe fun to watch live because it's kind of tense, but may as well just kind of make it faster here because what's going on, of course, you guys know the drill by now, I'm sure, is... Yes, Droidica can do a lot of damage, but that's through several different hits, and every time you hit Nest, she gains bonus protection. And so that bonus protection, if Droidica has 20 stacks could probably kill Supreme Leader Kylo, depending on how good your Droidica is, etc. But the 20 stacks would do fine. Against Nest, the first one would do damage and give her a little bonus protection. The second one might do even more damage and add more bonus protection, but after that, it would be nothing but hitting the bonus protection and adding more bonus protection. So, none of these guys can actually do enough damage to kill Nest. Nest has a pretty good regeneration, a regenerative ability. Never have to pay for extortion. You can just slowly take these guys out one by one, and it's quite satisfying to be able to take a team like this out with just one character. So, got a 55 there, And we're moving our way through this bottom zone pretty nicely. We've got Dooku, we've got First Order here, and of course I have General Kenobi on defense with my Jedi Knight Luke to prevent like Vader counters, basically, or at least to make them more problematic. And so, trying to figure out what to do against this crew team, decided to use Padme. Padme's kind of nice here. I don't like using Padme on offense in 3v3 or in anything, because you can't regenerate protection, really. Not unless you're using Shock T, and that's still pretty limited. So, use the courage to take out First Order Executioner. It seems like it doesn't take courage to do that. It's just a good sense of self-preservation. So, decided I wanted to take out their OG Kylo, if possible, here, just because he's the one who can do all the damage. Of course, you need to land the healing immunity, so Crew has healing immunity right now. He also, OG Kylo also ramps up his damage pretty good the more debuffs he has, and he ramps up his defense the more times he gets hit. He's also doing his AoE, handing the turns to people, being obnoxious. Every time we get that healing immunity, he just sloughs it off. Sloughs it off sounds kind of gross, actually. Almost killed him, and then, of course, his brother-in-arms, of course, decided to taunt, but AoE from Anakin took him out, and now we can just keep going. So, keep in mind, I really like having Snips here instead of GK, just because she has that, a lot of times, that passive dispel, so her and Anakin can both dispel, and then she can also cleanse, she can do all kinds of things. So, get the 51, that's pretty standard with that team. Not going to get much more than 51. Like I said, I don't like it. Then I decided, okay, so this Dooku team is kind of pretty weak, so look, check it out. They're all stealthed here, and that's a mistake on their end, actually. It is just a mistake, because Dooku's kind of fast, but if everyone's stealth, then you can just hit everyone like they're not in stealth. I guess you can't like counter against it, but otherwise you're good. And so decided to take Bando here. Kind of overkill. I think that their soldier is only gear 12, but maybe not. Maybe their Poggle's gear 12. Who knows? Decided to take this team, and I couldn't even recover. I was like, man, I'll get 54 for sure. This is a terrible team. And I got 53 because I didn't have time to regenerate. My Whistling Birds just took all of them out at once. Yeah, it was a gear 12 Poggle, right. So, pretty cool we did that. The thing to keep in mind about Beskar, guys, is expect good things on offense, but don't expect amazing things. Don't expect them to move the world. So killing that Dooku team, I was just fine with it. That's a pretty good realistic view. Now, we've got Rey here. You guys saw me recently take that Rey Han Chewie team out with this comp, with the Rey and Basti team with Hoda, and this is a different one because L3 is blocking us from access to their Rey, so we can't do ability blocks. So she's going to get more whirlwinds off. She's going to be doing more things in general. You see, she got Whirlwind off, she got Lifeblood off a few times because we can't ability block her with Basti. And so you just need to spam, guys. You'll see I go pretty hardcore here with the Lifeblood. We just want to spam Lifeblood, and over time we'll wear them down. So, or at least that's the theory. This is a health and speed modded Rey. You can see, so I'm doing, whoa, this is kind of an awkward pause, but notice her turn meter though. That's the thing I really want to point out. Look at her turn meter. I'm doing Lifeblood here because her turn meter is so low that she would actually lap, or we would lap her. The way the ult works is just pretty weird. So we're going to be able to pop our ult now a second time. We have another opportunity, so get that ultimate going. We can put the Master's Training onto Rey so that she's going to be doing more damage when she finally does do her ult. Well, similarly, we can't call her to assist here, but we do have offense up on her so that she can do more damage when she does the ult. It doesn't look like it did much of a dent, but in fact, Hoda does not have any bonus protection anymore. So, once again, we did get hit with a whirlwind that we didn't deserve, and we have the damage immunity on L3 now. That's not perfect, and L3 is maintaining that taunt really well, actually. Pretty impressive. Every time we hit L3 with something, she just keeps going. So, anyways, now the expose, or no, the foresight on Rey expired, so Hoda is taunting. It's a pretty good defensive team to keep me from actually being able to do anything to Rey. And once again, I couldn't hit her with Basti because she has that foresight. So once again, look at her turn meter. It's actually over 50%, so we can pop our own ultimate and we can just go to town. The nature of these Rey teams with their with the ultimate, nice. Holdo just disintegrated, wonderful. The nature of these Rey teams, or Rey mirror matches here, are, and note that we're doing the lifeblood here, just to err on the side of caution. The awesome thing about these, I keep trying to say it, is the fact that their ults just have to come at the same time. The way they generate their ultimate ability is just the same, and so it's how many turns everyone is going. So whenever their Rey gets their ult, generally speaking, ours also gets it. At least that's typically how it works. Not every single time, but as you can see, we're taking out L3. She pops her ult, and alright, it's not a thing. I was pretty sure we could just eat an ult if necessary, but may as well just err on the side of caution. And there we go. 500 something damage, 53, and we get through their Rey pretty easily. I'd say that my version, like her team was a little more expensive than mine, but still pretty nice. And now, here's the thing, guys. If you're running Darth Revan, he is, right now, he is one of the best characters to teams. You have to, guys. It is so important. He needs to be on that bottom front zone to cause uncertainty to your enemies, to your opponent, because right now, this was so easy. I got through his bottom zone, and then I was like, okay, no Galactic Legends in back. Wonderful. That's so cool. So I have Supreme Leader Kylo. I was thinking I was going to use him, but now I have no uncertainty at all. I can just use him on their strongest team. No problem. So once again, you guys, I asked if you guys wanted me to just start cutting these things out. A lot of you responded and said you wanted to see the full team, but a few of you kind of intimated that it might be beneficial, at least, to show the team. We'll just go at slower motion. So you can see we're doing that for this one. This one you guys have seen a million times. Everyone keeps running this team. Cassian actually died fairly early here, and it's actually better. You use that big heal / revive. Look at how much health and protection he revived with, like almost full. As opposed to if we just used it as a heal, he'd gain a little extra health and protection, but not too much. So there it is. We kill B1 first, he killed B2, and now we just try to bum rush General Grievous. It's all very quickly happening, which is what she said, and we can just keep moving on. This General Grievous he was hitting harder than other ones. I don't know if he had more health or protection. You'll have to excuse me, I didn't really check. For some reason, we were doing our Gambit Fight Night, and I didn't care. He survived for longer, though. I'm guessing he just did have a pretty good health pool. We need to keep moving on it, though. This is actually lasting long enough that he's going to get an AoE right before the end here. So that's kind of frustrating because it steals banners. But at the same time, hopefully, okay, so we can get our big heal here. That doesn't actually heal K2 at all, but otherwise we're good to go. So got the win against General Grievous. Now this fight is kind of funny. So it's a combo team of Jedi Training Rey with the Hero Bros, and you can see Finn just got taken out immediately because with Finn as lead, with the OG Finn, at least they're gaining 60% defense. With Jedi Training Rey, they're gaining other things, but not what they need against this Wedge Han Chew team. So 54 really, really quick banners, and we can move on to more challenging ideas. So final team up top here. We're moving very quickly through this top zone. Actually, we have the Geos team that I'm using to take on Bando. People have been using this Bando team quite a bit, guys. All right, I have to say something. Okay, so With Spy, the first move, even if he's debuffed, you don't want to do a big hit because that Spy actually spools up more damage. It actually, him being in stealth actually counted as a stack of stealth. The way the game counts it, it's an additional stack of it. So you want to wait at least one turn to of Spy's move to be able to take out Bando. So that's what I did. I was a little bit patient, barely took him out. My Spy, my Geos are indifferently modded at best. Really not that great, just because I don't like using them very much. But now, the idea here, guys, is I'm going to try my very best to time my healing to be able to heal the rest of the squad, and then have Spy pretty quickly be able to take out this IG-11. So, once again, we're just biding our time. We're going to do the expose move, get more debuffs on him, and now do a few more hits. And now he's right primed. We can potentially just heal, and then hopefully Spy goes and takes him out, which he did, and I did, and we got the 54. So it's either 54 or 51 against this squad, always with Geos. That's how it works, and I hate that. I hate Geos in general. They gave me motion sickness, but we can move on. And here's the flex that I talked about in my thumbnail, guys. He put his GET2 fleets down on defense. As a side note, does it bother anyone that those reinforcements on the top right are cut off? Does that bother anyone else's OCD? Like, it annoys me. I don't know. There's bigger things for them to fix. But all right, we've got teams on the bottom. Nothing too crazy on the bottom, but I also don't have very many crazy offensive teams. So we're going to use our Aurra Sing lead bounty hunter team, which is really like, this is like one of the most sketchy teams ever, because Aurra is so squishy. Mando is super squishy, and yeah, you don't get your feet quite, or your contract quite fast enough to suit me. Now, Asajj did her Dispel move, which is actually pretty devastating for this team, because that means we don't have any buffs on us, so we can't gain any traction on our bounty. So with Grief there, I dispelled everything and also gave everyone Retribution, which is huge, because that means that we can start working on our contract again. And of course, this is such a weird team. We can take out Asajj here, and then we can eventually just wait to take out Talia over time. Like, it doesn't matter at this point. We can just play the waiting game. And one thing to point out, guys, so Talia is a really weak choice here, and this isn't me trying to be tough on the opponent at all, but keep in mind, Talia is a significantly worse thing, because what if they had Acolyte in here? Acolyte I couldn't actually kill because I don't have an AoE. I would just time out, in fact, but instead Talia is just dumbly standing there, staring at me like a cow looks at an oncoming train until we just disintegrate her, as is proper. So, got the 54 on that kind of ill-conceived Night Sisters team. We've got other teams here we got to figure out. Now, this one can end in disaster, because, check this out, guys. Ooh, kind of in a mid-shot. Okay, so my Piet was faster than any of theirs. But even after he gave them both Veers and Dark Trooper 20% turn meter, their Kara was faster than them, plus 20% turn meter, which means that Kara gets to go. She has bonuses against Empire. So this got dark real quick, and that's not me trying to make a play on Dark Trooper here. It's just it's them trying to make a play on him. No, I mean, it's a mess though. We were stunned with Veers. They're getting all these turns. This is a turn meter squad. They're reducing turn meter because of Kara, and Pow is yelling, and I can't do enough damage because I only have 3 stacks now. And I did use my basic with Piet to take out Kara there, just because he'll assist against Kara. Now, keep in mind, she has potency up, so she keeps coming back. And so what I ended up doing here, because Piet and Veers both have max health, well, I was going to use my buff, but apparently I didn't. Never mind, I'm kind of dumb. So, Solo was shouting at me to just use my basic. I decided I wanted to fear everyone, because that's more fun, and honestly, that also dispelled Cara Dune there, which is huge, because we don't want to just be punching her for infinity. As far as I know, there's punching her still kind of nonsense. I decided to take a second to read the various abilities on Dark. Decided to just use it for fun after I got tired of reading it, and because Veers had a turn coming up, we were good. Took her out, and we can move on to bigger, better things. Unfortunately, there's not many bigger, better things. There's this high relic Carth team. Well, high as in like relic 4, higher than I would ever go. Decided to just bite the bullet here. I've been pretty efficient this whole time. Decided to go with Traya here because they assist so much. In fact, one thing that I would really like to try sometime, I think in theory this works, I'd like to try just Traya and Scion here. And as you notice that Carth just melts to those 3 lightsabers to the face from Traya. Don't act like you wouldn't also melt. Those lightsabers are actually pretty hot. But one thing I'd really like to try is just Traya and Scion, and then not putting Isolate on anyone, just letting them all assist each other to death. I don't know if that would heal them too much as well. I'm just not sure how it would all play out. But what I do know is that in this situation, we could use the big hit from Scion to top off his health, and Nihilus had his Annihilate ready to take him out. So, pretty easy peasy, I guess. And now, I still have my Jedi Revan team. And one thing that I do a lot of folks, I try to preserve my best teams for the very last. Now, you saw that I used my Galactic Legends pretty early on, and that was the first one. Well, the first one was necessary because we needed to get through the bottom zone. The second one, we used Rey versus Rey, and I needed to know how that would go because that would shape my future fights. Like, I would have to use Supreme Leader Kylo potentially. It could be a huge mess. I needed to know early on. And then Darth Revan was barring our way. I needed to make sure that we could take out their Darth Revan with Supreme Leader Kylo. I didn't have anything else that would easily take out their Darth Revan. So, beyond that, though, I do try to save my best teams for the end. In this case, it was Jedi Knight Revan. He's just so flexible in 3v3. I feel like this is an almost necessary. Like, you could put him on defense sometimes, but he's just so good on offense. Really, I mean, so flexible on offense. Just really better than usual. Better than most things. So, all right, we've got this final team. We've got Lando lead with the Smuggler bros, the veteran Smugglers, and so we've got Days on Vet Han. We're just gonna try to spam stuns. This fight is the epitome of why I love Jedi Training Rey. She's just so I don't know. She's just so flexible. She's so controlling, I guess is really what the right word is. I love how she's able to just control this fight so much. So Veteran Han did get one hit in on us, and then BB-8 hit back, called R2 to assist. We got the stun, and look at all these debuffs. Note that he kept his Commander Luke team on offense. He didn't really. He placed 2 Galactic Legends and Darth Revan, and that's it. Really, for really good teams. The rest of it, he kind of cheesed us a little bit. So I was glad I placed a pretty strong defense. We got 54 here with the scoundrel leader there. I mean, I was kind of taunting Veteran Han during the stream. It was, oh wow, we're just cutting straight to fleet. I was kind of taunting Veteran Han there. I was like, why can't you go faster? You're getting plus 20 speed from Lando, which wasn't entirely fair because he was dazed and stunned. But all right, so what I ended up doing here, I decided, man, it was a debate for a while. Tried to figure out exactly what I should do, but decided to use my Rebel fleet here against this Negotiator because they have Malevolence as well. And here's the thing, guys. I have a counter to Negotiator. I can use Triple Tank, which includes Houndstooth, Sunfac, and Hyena Bomber with Malevolence. But then my counter, my favorite counter to the Malevolence team would have been with Raddus, who also requires the Houndstooth. So decided to use my rebels here so that if I failed against this or against the Malevolence with Raddus, which both of them hold an okay chance of failure, if that happened, then I could use Malevolence to clean up whoever. So we're using rebels here, and in all my testing and even in my arena climbs, the best method is to target Ahsoka here and just take her out if you can. And so she's below that 50% threshold, took her out, and this is what I've tested this a ton of times. This works. Killed my Wedge, or Biggs, whatever, and suddenly we're actually kind of in trouble. Like, they did more damage with that AoE than I had really anticipated. I was trying to figure out exactly what to do, because suddenly we're vulnerable. Like, I mean, we're on home one's turn, but then the Falcon is not going to go for a while. Their Negotiator's probably going to go pretty soon and call someone in or something. Biston isn't going to go for a while, and he is dazed, and they've got their Anakin with more turn meter than us. We're kind of in trouble here. So I debated for a while, like, can I survive one hit from Anakin with the Falcon? The answer was I probably can. So if we do that, then we probably just want to heal up Biston a little bit. And so that's what I did, get that daze off of him. And then, of course, Clone Sergeant comes in, nukes Biston, and immediately I'm like, and now I'm in trouble. Now, the turn meter on Home 1, I think Home 1 was going to go next. So, did the wiggle there just to keep him a little bit safe. Now, Clone Sergeant is the absolute worst ship to come in, because if I had Cassian come in, and or if their like Houndstooth came in or something, we could dispel any other tank, but not that Clone Sergeant. And so I brought in the Phantom. I think that was a mistake, actually. My buddy Klesso was telling me that the best move against Clone Sergeant is still just to bring in Cassian, and then you just do a regular basic attack, have the Falcon assist, hopefully, and if you can just knock out that protection on Sergeant, then the next turn that you have with Cassian, then you just nuke Anakin. So, as it stands, we've got Cassian here, and I was like, you know what, we're actually on the verge of just getting completely destroyed, so let's take out their Clone Sergeant here. Anakin's gonna go. They're gonna get their buff, or they're gonna get someone else to come in. So it's actually looking kind of controllable right now. There's no taunting going on. We could actually take out Anakin. We failed to assist there on the target lock from Phantom, so that was regrettable. And then the question was, okay, so I can dispel this on Anakin and no assist again from the Falcon, and then they did their AoE again. Cassian's gone, Phantom's gone, and the Falcon is behind a taunt. We are not looking great, folks. Just a lot of bad coin flips, along with, I think, a little bit subpar play, frankly. I had one more chance, though. I was like, he's in yellow, we could take him. No, we can't. We can't do it. We failed, and we're dead. So they actually ended up with the same-ish starting lineup. I guess not quite. Like, this is like a standard lineup. Now, I decided before I finish off that Negotiator fleet, which was devastating because I'd been so efficient up till then. I was like, really? I gotta drop 20 banners from that? I decided, all right, this one, the Raddus counter to Malevolence, is actually also somewhat uncertain. So we need to see, because really, I mean, my Finalizer could conceivably finish off that Negotiator if necessary, and we need to see which fleet needs to be finished off by Malevolence. So we're going in with Raddus, and this isn't 100% counter, guys. It's fun and interesting. So what we're doing, we always want to use specials on the resistance ships, and immediately you see I used the thing that gives turn meter to the Houndstooth, so immediately Houndstooth can taunt. That's key, because now they're going to be focusing everything on Houndstooth, and he's the only one who can really survive any of this. The other resistance ships are just floating piles of garbage. Now, I was with Endall here, and he's one of the guys who kind of taught me how to do this counter, and so he's like, yeah, I always do the dazed and dispel. And, I mean, it's fine. I think that's what I should do. I just wasn't sure. I was waiting to see what his thoughts were there. So put daze on their hyena bomber. I think that that's the best way to do it. Now, the thing that requires self-control, folks, is we're using, instead of bringing in reinforcements, see how we have buzz droids on everyone? That is a no-go. We're going to lose. Look at how close Houndstooth is to disaster, in fact. We need those buzz droids to go away. That is key. It is super important we do that. So instead of calling a reinforcement in like you usually want, you have to use that ability, the cleanse ability. You need, and Raddus has to be 7 stars to be able to do that. Now Poe got targeted by the spy, which sucks. He somehow survived that. His evade is really coming in handy here. I mean, the Resistance fleet has good evasion. You'll hear Solo complaining about it on his streams if you ever watch him. But actually, Poe survived it, and now he doesn't even have that taunt anymore. Somehow Houndstooth still does, so that's interesting. So he can dispel it. He still has his normal taunt. Well, for a second he did. And we got the Falcon in. We do the spinny trick, and we're 2 moves away from getting that, from getting the capital ship kill. So we've gotten some decent RNG. Like both the Houndstooth was close to just getting tanked there for a little bit. So was Poe. We got decent dodge RNG. Didn't actually kill anyone with the Falcon, and then Houndstooth, of course, croaked, putting some pressure on us. But if we can survive long enough, which is a big question mark, if we can survive long enough, then our Raddus will be able to take out their Malevolence, and then we'll have enough bonuses to probably finish things off. Though it's no certain thing. I mean, they still have a bunch of Vulture droids and stuff. So take out their Malevolence, so at the very least, the cleanup's going to be way easier, because they don't have the capital ship anymore. And now he's still taunting and so it's like, okay, Cad Bane comes in from reinforcements. What do we do? Of course, the AoE, so we can take out more of these Vultures, and yeah, we're doing this. And I think this part is actually pretty important coming up. I'm going to try to pause it real quick. My face might be in the way, actually. So I'm trying to determine, yeah, okay. So check this out, guys. I don't think I have to move my face or anything. Check it out. The Vulture droid, we don't know which one is which, right? Like, which one do we need to kill for the other one to just disappear? Because one of them is summoned and one is not. So look at this one. This one has the buffs. It doesn't say anything. And then I'll try to pause it in just a minute, because I'm going to select that one. It's important, though. Yeah, so check it out, guys. The Vulture droid here, see the little thumbnail picture on the bottom there? It says summon, which means we want to kill the one that doesn't have that. Because if we kill the real one, then the summoned one will just go away without any real ships to help it. So take out the real one, the other one disappears. So 61, pretty nice. Felt a little dicey at times. Like I said, it's not 100% counter. It is effective enough that it's worth a try. My opponent, I mean, he succeeded. He got a hold on one of his fleets. Now we have to see the weirdness of going in a second into a cleanup fight against Negotiator is all the different ships have their cooldowns at different times, and they're unpredictable. So, I mean, usually that's actually to your advantage, frankly. Like, that's usually going to help you, but it's just complicated. Maybe not complicated, it's just weird. It's like, okay, so they did get that. They did get the healing thing. I can never remember the name of it for the life of me. The thing that keeps Anakin alive. I swear, I just can't remember it for the life of me. It kills me. Their Plo came in as expected, because I think he was like the only reinforcement left. Maybe one more, but he was like guaranteed to come in. So not the greatest result, but at the same time, it's like, all right, let's roll the dice here. We're in an okay position anyways. The dice, though, we went in our favor. The spy targeted Anakin, and everything's good. I genuinely believe that we could have pulled it off here anyways, even with Plo coming in and making things tougher. I do think that we were in pretty good situation here regardless, but of course it helps. Of course it helps to get lucky. I'll never turn that down. Get that RNG spike. It just feels good. So, oh yeah, so there is one more reinforcement. It's Rex. He's like the best. No, he sucks. he sucks as a reinforcement. He's actually decent. His ship is better than people give him credit for. But now, yeah, we'll apply buzz droids. I feel like someone should give him a shirt like, "You have died of buzz droid." I feel like that should actually just be, maybe I should make merch sometime, guys, and that can be one of our first things, is "You have died of buzz droid." Even though that's not a thing I say commonly, people might buy it just because it's reminiscent of Oregon Trail. Anyways, I don't know how that came up. 42 would have been a 62 if I had won the first time. I told everyone this was the cleanup, it was over the cleanup line of shame. So, it's good to know. We got a 42, not too bad, honestly. One fail. The cleanup was actually pretty good. Everything else actually went to plan really well. Even the dicey ones, like those troopers versus Mothma. Really glad that that panned out, because that got dicey real quick. And honestly, I think in Division 1, the line of shame is going to end up being like right at 3,300. In my opinion, that means you've dropped right about 40 banners total. So incidentally, like in 3v3 with 15 squads and 2 ships, like that's 17 fights. If you only drop 20 banners, that means you've been pretty dang efficient. And then one fail, and I'm still 1 over. So I got really good scores here, actually, guys. I know that sounds like bragging, but really, I mean, averaging somewhere close to 53, it ain't bad, honestly. So here, let's go to, I think I have some actual like pictures that'll show us how we did. Let's see. Oh, geez, it's doing that thing again. Okay, all right, here we go. So, let's see. Let's hope I actually put them in the right order, actually. I have no idea if I did. Let's see. No, I did not. Let's see. All right, spoiled everything. So, I didn't take the right screenshots, first off, guys. Unfortunately, I didn't even get an overview shot, so you can see that I did, in fact, win. So sorry for the no fanfare. I felt pretty confident, actually, even though we kept a lot for offense. My defense is just strong enough that it can withstand firepower of that magnitude, frankly, especially because Galactic Legends are the currency, guys. If you don't have the right currency to beat some of these teams, like some of my teams just say, no thank you, you can't beat me if you don't use a Galactic Legend or a specific counter. And so I'm putting these teams on defense in order so that the things that people are going to commonly use to beat them, once they get to the back, they can't actually beat the things in the back very well. So he had an early fail against Darth Revan, which is nice because, like I said, like one fail, he's still in it, but he's gonna have to average some crazy scores. And he dropped 3 banners here and there, and he did kill the Jedi Master Luke team for, I don't know, 53, something like that. Now, whoa, hold on. I apologize, folks. Kind of. So on the bottom, this is where he stalled out, frankly. So he actually beat, I was surprised, he beat the Jedi Knight Luke team. I don't know what he used. It'll be interesting to see what he did. If I had to predict, I would have said he couldn't. Though, come to think of it, he still did have 2 Galactic Legends available. Maybe he did. Maybe he saved Sith Eternal for the back, just because he's a good player, actually. He's done very well so far. Glad I was able to beat him here. But as you can see, once you start failing your attacks on certain characters, the fail against that Darth Revan team, I think he used Darth Vader to take, because Darth Revan was dead and everyone else, the other 2 were still alive. So I mean, that happens with that Darth Vader counter. Not consistent, even though everyone promises me that it can be. It just isn't. And after that, it just kind of snowballs into this madness of Rex, getting more holds again. And then Commander Luke just, after a while, he just dunks on every team that could possibly hurt him. Like, if you don't have the right team, he just dunks on every single person. So that's nice. And then in ships, I'm happy to say his weird flex of putting both Galactic or GET2 fleets down worked out well for him. No, I'm being sarcastic at the expense of my opponent, which is not necessarily fair. He did try something that worked. It just, he wasn't prepared to actually beat my fleets, even though I don't put both GET2 down. I genuinely believe that this is a better lineup on fleets. So even though I stubbed my toe a little bit, it was nice. It's just a nice circumstantial piece of evidence to feel like, oh yeah, okay, we outschemed him anyways. And so he barely cleared him. Kudos to him for having done that. And in the end, folks, no one's in early Erodium, so this final rank, I think I'm actually worse than this. I'm worse than rank number 6, but not by too much. Not by too much. We are doing better. We're doing good. Top 10 is our goal this season. It's top 10 or broke. I'm really working on it. I hope it can work out for me. Now, people are going to hear that, and they're going to tell their friends, ooh, you're paired against Xaereth. Just put everything on defense and make it so we can't clear. And to that, I'll just say, like, do as you will. Like, if you want to lose, you can do that. That is your option. Like, you're not going to beat me by using that as a strategy. You're going to maybe stop me from getting top 10, but you'll lose. So do as you will. And maybe you won't lose. But that being said, folks, I'm going to call it good. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.